Namaste and welcome to our Alpha Mind Power channel. Today's topic is about what we call the victim pattern in a person's life. Sometimes people say certain things are happening in my life again and again. The same kind of incidents are happening. Why is it so? Why can't I stop them from happening? And let me give you some examples for this. There was a young man who spoke to me for counseling. So he said when he was in his college, somebody wanted some money, one of his friends. They wanted some money and he requested his parents to lend him that money and it was quite a big amount, took the money from his parents and gave it to his friend. Now that friend said he will return it in 3 months because he had some difficulty. But after 3 months he could not return the money, and then the college also got over, the studies got over and they went their own ways, so the money never came back. This was the first incident. Then later on, after he finished his degree and post-graduation etc., he joined a company, he started working there. There he had a very good friend, a colleague of his. Now that friend one day asked for money and said he had some big problems in his family, he needed a few lakhs. And this person, he arranged for the money, he borrowed from some of his friends and said that he will get it back within 2 months or so and return it to them. And whatever money he had also he pulled in and everything he gave to that person. Now that person also had promised to return it within a specific time. But within that time nothing happened, and after that also that money never came back. And after a few more months that person stopped talking to this young man who was talking to me, and then later on he moved away from that office. So that money just went, it didn't come back at all, he couldn't get it back. Then this was the second incident. Now the third one is, he says recently one of his relatives, his uncle, his father's brother, he was running a business and there was some need for money there. So he took this man alone, sat with him, spoke to him and said, I need so many lakhs, this much money, I have to put in this money in the business, otherwise I will have a major problem and you are the only one who can help me, and things like that. Now this young man, what he has done is, there was a facility of a personal loan from his office. So he took that personal loan and gave his uncle the money. And the uncle also promised to return it within 6 months. Now 6 months have passed, much more than that has passed. And now the uncle, he has not returned the money of course. He doesn't answer his phone calls and he doesn't talk to him at all. He gets angry. If at all he picks up the phone and he asks for the money. So that is the condition. Now he doesn't know what to do. He can't even tell his parents because nobody knows about this. Now this young man is asking me, why is this happening again and again in my life? Now it is happening again and again only because the lesson has not been learnt. With the first incident, if he had become a little more cautious, then the second incident could not have happened and third incident could not have happened. So till you learn your lesson, life keeps giving us these kind of happenings in life. So and we call it a victim pattern because you become the victim. You feel that you're being used by somebody. So I explained this to him. That was one example. There's another example I would like to give you. This is about a young lady. She was about 26-27 years old. Now she also spoke to me for counseling. She said when she was in school in the +2 class, she fell in love with one boy. He was from a nearby school and they both used to meet, they used to talk and spend time together, and all this happened. But just before the board exams, the public exams, this boy said, no, we cannot continue with all this, it doesn't suit me, and they broke up and he went away. So she was a little bit heartbroken at that time, young age. So she said with great difficulty I studied and then wrote my exam and passed and all that. Then she went to college, and when she was in the college, one of her friend's brothers, she became friendly with him and started meeting him, and they both were in love, and they met many times. They spoke to each other about marriage and everything they spoke, and then finally just as the college days were coming to an end, he said, no, I don't think this is going to work, so let us break up, and that also broke up. Now she says she has joined a very good company after finishing her college and her PhD, her post-graduation. She has joined a very good concern, a very good job, and there is a colleague. And he started approaching her, and both of them thought they were in love with each other, and they started going out, meeting, talking, etc. The whole office came to know. Almost 6 months went like this. And at the end of 6 months, that person came and told her, I don't think this is going to work, let us break up. And he took a transfer to some other branch and went away. So she said, she asked me, why is this happening in my life again and again? Why are people just ditching me like this? I feel as if I'm being used by people. Again I told her, see, when you do not learn the lesson from the first incident, then the life gives you again and again the same kind of incidents. You should become more aware. You should learn the lesson. Even in school when it happened, you could have understood that getting emotionally involved with a person even when you're in school was not the right thing. You could have focused more on your studies. Then again in college the same thing. You got involved with your friend's brother. So that was uncalled for. You had to study, you had a long way to go, but then you went into this. So again the same lesson you never learned. Again when you go to work, the same thing happens. So until and unless you learn the lesson that life is trying to teach you, these incidents will happen again and again, and you start feeling bad for yourself. So I suggested how they could break this trend. And that's what I'm going to tell you also. See, what is required is that awareness and understanding. You become a little more cautious. So what you can do for this is, if you know how to meditate, you can sit and meditate. That would be the best thing. But if you do not know how to meditate properly also, it doesn't matter. Sit down in a place and do some deep breathing. At least 10-20 times deep breathing. You will become a little calm. Of course, with closed eyes. And then go over these incidents. Mentally think about each incident that happened in your life in the same kind of pattern. First incident, this happened. What you could have done there. How you could have avoided it, or how you could have handled it, or could you have behaved in a different way. Think about it, because that is the learning that is required. Then come to the second incident. Same way, think about it. Then come to the third. So you introspect like this and contemplate on all those incidents that happened in your life, which make you wonder why again and again you become a victim in the same kind of incident. So when you sit and contemplate like this, we call it contemplation. When you sit in meditation, you talk to yourself and tell yourself that this is this is the mistake I made. I should not have done it. So hereafter in life, if the same kind of situation presents itself again, I will definitely be aware and I will not allow the same mistake to happen. You conclude like that. So now your mind becomes clear. Now the lesson is also learned, and you will become definitely more watchful, and you will not become a victim anymore. So what is required is that determination in the mind. So make sure the lesson is learned and the determination is there, so that in future you do not become a victim. You do not feel that somebody is using you. That's not required at all. You can assert yourself and you can take decisions in a more balanced way also. So think about it and let me also know your comments.